Hello, fellow Voyagers. Jess here with Odyssey Human. Here today to talk about how to bring stress to its knees with one word. Welcome to the channel. This is a place where we help you hack through the jungles of consciousness so that you can discover the hidden treasures inside of you. My friends, it's all there, ready and waiting to be activated by you, through you, as you. If that sounds good, please subscribe. I'd love to have you on the channel. Today's video is very practical. As you can see, I'm traveling, and I wanted to share something a little bit different. You know, a lot of the concepts we talk about are reality creation, manifestation related, but today I just wanted it to be really, really practical to life, because I think what happens is that we often miss the behavioral modification part of, embodying these states that we want to embody. We spend a lot of time in imagination, and I think one of the advanced skills is bridging that disconnect between spending a lot of time in imagination, imagining that we are who we want to be, but that we miss the day-to-day life stuff. Like, we still, at the end of the day, are living a day-to-day life where we may be enacting habits that are kind of old news. And what I have found with myself is that even all this stuff that I know, all these advanced concepts that I know, all these amazing manifestations that I've had, still at the end of the day, like, I'm human, and I get angry, I forget. I know these concepts, but sometimes I get lost in my own perception. And I really like adding a very tangible, practical, down-to-earth, grounded element to manifesting. I think that's really important. And I've talked about this before, about how if we miss the piece of emotional mastery that is the jewel that is included in, being a creator of our reality, if we miss that piece and life hasn't really changed in practicing this philosophy and living it out and embodying it, then we're really missing out. Because this is also, I think, one of the things that softens as you become a better imaginer, right? Your options open up for the things that you experience, for the things that you feel. And so today I really want to talk about how to bring stress to its knees. I think we all still experience stress. I know that might sound like a limiting belief, but I really don't want it to. I want it to open up into an option for you, and that option I want to give you today is changing your language. Changing your language around when you catch yourself in an automatic stress cycle, when you catch yourself getting upset, when you catch yourself resisting things that are happening in the 3D, like, that is resistance. Negative emotion is resistance to what's happening. We don't want that to happen. We're upset. We're traumatized. We're succumbing to the drama. Those things, at the end of the day, unless you're a Zen master and you've eliminated that from your life, right? Unless you are totally in happy land and living exactly the way you want to live, things may still be triggering you, in daily life. And that's okay. That's okay, because we've got language. Let's turn to language for this. And how do we bring stress to its knees with one word? That word is not I or am. It's not I am. It's actually changing the words that you're using to describe something that's happening in your life. Say you have a problem. You perceive you have a problem. Maybe you've only thought it in your head as a problem. Maybe you've spoken it out loud as a problem. The simple change to bring stress to its knees, I want you to use one of two other words. Either challenge or adventure. Literally, when you stop using the word problem, your life will change. Your life experience will change. the word problem it's packed. It's a loaded element. It comes with the assumption that this is something you want to get away from, this is something that you want to avoid or fix or manage or deal with or problem solve or whatever solution-based word is built into the assumption of the word problem, right? It's a story in itself, right? It's something that I have to overcome, an obstacle that I have to overcome. Whereas if you substitute the word challenge, let's feel out challenge. The word challenge is an invitation to competition, right? An invitation to rise to the occasion, an invitation to stretch and grow and be more than you are now. That feels a lot better, right? That feels a lot better. It's not as loaded, the word challenge. If you're a naturally competitive person, you'll love the word challenge. You're like, ooh, a challenge? Yeah, I want to get on board with this and overcome it. If you're more of a fun person, if you more lean towards fun, you may really like the word adventure better. So let's feel that one out. So say I gotta get a root canal or something. And you're like, what an adventure. What an adventure. The things I am going to feel during this root canal are going to be things I may never have felt before in my life, right? The physical experiences that I'm going to go through. The thoughts and the feelings, and there are elements of adventure in that, and I'm leaning into it. I'm leaning into the adventure of that. Adventure maintains your curiosity. It keeps you open to experience. It keeps you open to positive and negative aspects. Whereas problem is it really is more of a resistant word, emotion, feeling, state of being. Adventure is more curiosity, fun, expectation of the unknown. Challenge is more an invitation for competition, for growth, for some fun toughness, like the edge of competition of like, ooh, I get to rise above who I am now. I get to go to battle with something and become victorious. The words have different feeling states to them depending on your personality, how you interpret these words. But I invite you to fully substitute using these words instead of problem when you are describing a situation verbally, when you're thinking about the situation, when you are interpreting the situation, right? When you're making assumptions, judgments, declarations of fact, right? This is how it is. We set up residence, right, in a state of how we're, the whole concept of a situation or a circumstance or a person or a relationship. We do this. We kind of build a little nest with our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions, and it has a tone to it. It's got a feeling tone. So it sounds very simple. It's backed by science. I actually had a conversation with the president of a yoga association. So not only did he do yoga, but he was also kind of leading this nonprofit. And he and I got into an interesting conversation about he was actually doing exactly this. I'm not sure if there's more to his protocol other than just word replacement, but he was able to get funding to actually do scientific studies to see kind of before and after when people describe something as a problem or a threat versus a challenge. And the results came in, and everyone in that study, 100% of the people, what changed for them was their ability to reappraise their stress response. What that means is they were able to stay aware and second guess their stress. And so this down the road, this skill is incredibly useful. Incredibly. Because when we catch ourselves in a stress response, when we catch ourselves upset, when we catch ourselves not being able to sleep, when we catch ourselves, not eating well and not taking care of ourselves, we're like, oh, I'm stressed out because I am perceiving this situation as a problem instead of a challenge or an adventure, right? And the associated mental and physical response is much different. And so there are other studies on this. The science is there. If you want to Google stress, arousal, reappraisal, that is the scientific term for being able to stay in awareness of how you're perceiving your stress, right? Of how you're perceiving a situation and being able to change it, being able to shift it, being able to do something differently. Because this is where the rubber meets the road of living your knowledge of reality creation is, I think, the day-to-day stuff. It's the daily grind stuff. It's just making life easier on yourself, making things easier for yourself, lightening your emotional load in the day-to-day living, which isn't always glorious. It's not always, as a millionaire with your SP. It's often just going to work, being you, making money, doing whatever you do, taking care of a family, right? Or a dog or a pet. It's often the day-to-day experience that can really benefit from something like this. Something practical, simple, easy to use, easy to remember. So, I know this was helpful to you. Do it. It will not benefit you if you don't do it. If you listen to me and think, oh yeah, that was a great idea, and then forget it, nothing changes. So, do this the next time you catch yourself in a negative reaction. Change your perception of the situation. See it as a problem, see problems as either a challenge or an adventure. Get fully on board, fully use the language, fully shift how you're talking about it, thinking about it, feeling about it, and you will have a different response. I guarantee it. Drop a comment below if you would like to engage with me. I'm happy to engage with you. If you need a tool to help you change your mind, have your mind become a more peaceful, pleasant, wonderful place, grab that below. It is always in the description box of every video. Since I've been making videos for 5 years, it's always there. It's always going to be there for free. Grab that below if you need it. Thanks for watching.